You think you know me? Oh yes you do. You think you know Mad Aggie through and through. But I've got tales that will hoodoo you. Stories to make you squirm and scream. Tonight Mad Aggie will write your dreams. Listen while I tell you. For them, I play the fool. But not for you, oh no, every word I say to you is true. Come with me and you will see what Mad Aggie sees. Come, let this be our first stop. Night Soil and Sprocket's pawn shop.
Oh no, not you again. Get out of here, Aggie.
I sleep in your shoes, I make knots in your tongues. I unclose your eyelids, and clot your lungs. I can't stop my chatter, I'm quite mad you see. I steal your air and get fatter and fatter. Something you know, is definitely the matter. Where is the professor?
Go home, Aggie, he's not here.
The professor's out. I think he's in. Tell me, do you know where he's hid my violin?
Your violin's gone, Aggie. It was probably sold years ago.
It was years ago I stubbed my toe. The doctor had to cut it off, you know. He took an axe and chopped it off. And brought it here in a velvet box. A pox on both your houses, I say, a pox. You can't lose and I can't win. I want my toe and my violin.
We don't have your toe, or your violin. Now get out of here before
tomorrow came today. Mad Aggie is here to stay. Gone tomorrow, here today. Gone tomorrow, here today.
Well, the professor's not here today, and he's not likely to be here tomorrow. Now go home, and stay there.
The professor's gone away. He made me what I am today, that's what I hear the voices say. He made me what I am today, that's what they say.
Get out of here, Aggie, before I run you in.
I have to go now, I'm late, I'm terribly, terribly late. I mustn't be seen, I must be invisible. I have to practice. For tonight, I play for the Queen.
Crazy old bat, gives me the raving fantods she does. You ought to lock that woman up.
You're lucky we don't lock you up.
We pay our bills regular. That's right, once a week.
You'd make a regular contribution to the policeman's benevolent fund. Speaking of which, it's that time again, ladies.
As if we didn't know, you never come here except to collect money.
You're right, I don't. You wouldn't want me coming in unannounced, seeing an illegal transaction taking place, or finding stolen goods for sale, would you? Oh, and by the way, there's been an increase in your donation.
What? How much of an increase?
50 more a week.
That's robbery.
Something you'd know a thing or two about, huh? Times are hard, ladies.
We can't afford 50 more a week.
You can't afford not to.
Wait until the professor hears about this.
It's the price of doing business in this town, ladies. I'm sure the professor of all people understands that. Oh. As always, we are so very grateful for your generosity.
A person can't even earn an honest buck these days without the law picking our pockets. One of these days.
You two will be hideously old and decrepit.
Professor, what are you trying to do? Give us a heart attack?
In order to have a heart attack, one needs a heart, an organ I believe both of you are lacking.
Look who's talking. You missed Mad Aggie again.
What a pity.
And Officer Culver, who's raised his rates again.
How much this time?
50 more a week. What are we going to do?
Pay it.
We did.
Then there's nothing else to do. One hand washes the other in this business, I'm afraid. Oh, and by the way, I've brought you a little present.
Little is right. Scrawny bit of a rat, isn't he? What are we supposed to do with him?
He'll make a fine penny dreadful with a little work.
Another mouth to feed. Just what we don't need.
He'll earn his keep.
We'll see to that.
This right over there is Bethesda night soil, and that delightful morsel over there is Jordius sprocket.
Watch your professor.
Speaking of morsels, do you have anything to eat? I'm famished.
You're always famished. Don't you ever come here without an empty stomach.
I never travel without my stomach.
There is some leftovers in the kitchen.
Don't worry about anything, Calvin. I'll bring you something nice to nibble.
See if you can find Mad Aggie's toe for him to nibble on. Yeah, she says you got it here in a velvet box.
I'll keep an eye out for it. The ladies will get you settled in. They aren't as bad as they seem. Try to stay on their good side, though.
We don't have a good side, Professor. Don't be filling the boy's head with a lot of nonsense. Puny little one, aren't you? We'll need to fatten you up so the wind won't blow you away. Fatten him up for the kill, you mean? Meat's scarce these days. Going to get scarcer. What did the professor say his name was?
Calvin.
Was I talking to you? You speak when you were spoken to around here. Despicable little creature.
These are the petty dreadfuls. Orphan boys and runaways, who spend their nights and days working for the professor as pickpockets and thieves. These boys have more than mischief up their sleeves.
How many times have I told you to use the back door? Do you want to let the law in on us traipsing in the front door like that, making a spectacle of yourselves?
Sorry, we forgot.
Sorry, we forgot. Well, we'll give you something you won't forget. Ooh, what a pretty trinket.
Figured you'd take a fancy to that.
Let me see that. It might bring a few dollars.
More than a few, them is real pearls.
What do you know about real pearls, Worm?
He knows that you will sell them as real pearls whether they're real or not.
In the right light, they might pass for the real thing. These rag pickers are the petty dreadfuls.
Oh, we pick more than rags now, don't we, Bethesda?
When you do your job right, you do. And it's Miss Night Soil to you.
What are the penny dreadfuls?
What did you say? Speak up.
What are the penny dreadfuls? Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh, don't be so brash, Bumgory. Tell him who you are.
Why should we?
Apparently he's one of you now.
One of us? Him? Says who?
Says me.
Professor? Well, that's different, of course. Right, if he's going to be one of us, he'll have to know who's who, and what's what.
And who's in charge around here.
He is.
And don't you ever forget it.
So tell him, Scuttlebutt, tell him who you are. Go ahead, introduce yourselves to puny little Calvin here.
I'm Scuttlebutt. This here's Bottleneck, over there is Shrug and Magpie, that's Bumgorian Bangles, and... Get over here, Worm. This here's the Worm, that's all of us. Worm? Them that know me call me Worm. Them what don't calls him worse. Shut your face, Magpie. Them you've met, I guess.
These my little rodent are the penny dreadfuls.
And they work dirt cheap.
We've got filth encrusted elbows, and dirt between our toes, we've got scum upon our teeth, and we never wipe our nose, there's something nasty in our ears, we're what every mother fears. True, we've got horrible stinking feet, but we work dirt cheap. There's creatures stirring in our hair, and they're spreading nightly everywhere. These creatures never seem to sleep, all they do is creep creep creep. You can't imagine what they eat. Yes, we're the penny dreadfuls, and we work dirt cheap. We never wash away the dirt, what's the harm? Does it hurt? A little filth, a little grime, this way of life, it suits us fine. You don't like our smells, you say? You be careful what you say, I say, or we'll send our nasty smells your way. You creep, creep, creep. For we're the penny dreadfuls, and we work dirt cheap.
For they're the penny dreadfuls, and they work dirt cheap. Now get out of here so we can sort through this rubbish. You heard her. And use the back door this time, you good-for-nothings.
Back to work, lads. I've been scouting out some new territory for you. I'll have to teach Calvin here a few tricks of the trade. Pay close attention to what I say, and mind you, be careful of the law. You wouldn't want to end up in jail, or worse.
Worse? He means hanging. What the dickens kind of name is Calvin? You're gonna need a better name than that if you're gonna be a penny dreadful. I hereby rename you Caliban. Caliban was a hideously deformed monster. It suits you better. We've got work to do, Caliban.
Those two ladies at the pawn shop will not be happy to hear that I don't have the money we owe. Before long, that scoundrel who calls himself the professor will have my throat.
It's alright, honey. I'm there for emotional support.
It's gonna take more than emotional support to get me through tonight. It's over, dear. I'm finished.
Who says it's the end? Please lighten up, you. While you have debts to pay off, maybe this trinket will do.
I don't know if I should be taking strange bottles from crazy old women.
Crazy as it seems, this item has worth. It can pay the professor's high debts. Yes, sir.
Honey, do you think we should take her advice?
Well, that potion looks pretty valuable. But I don't want to disappoint the professor.
I tell you, the professor will love it so. That way, you could give him the potion and go. Hair it will grow on the professor's bald head. Men would be anything to have that power, even dead.
Yes, we'll take the potion.
Good luck to your life, good sir.
Thanks for the help. Are you checking on the sweets?
Yeah, the muffins still look good.
I sure hope this potion works the way that woman said.
Why, if it isn't Mr. Teasbury? Come to pay up, have you?
My wife did some baking. I told her how much you love your sweets.
Just made them this morning. We love our sweets same as the next person, but we can't pay our debts with. What do you got in there? Banana muffins. Banana muffins. Not bad. Money, Mr. Teasbury, money is what our relationship is based on, not muffins. Do you have the money you owe?
Not exactly.
What do you mean, not exactly? We have been very patient with you, Mr. Teasbury, exceedingly patient might I add, but enough is enough.
Just give us more time. Business has been very bad.
Don't whine to us about your business being poor. That's none of our concern. That's right, our concern is money, money that we lent you in good faith, with the understanding that it would be paid back, in full, with interest, something you haven't done, and your time is up. We're left with no choice but to turn this matter to the professor.
No!
The professor is not a patient man, nor is he a reasonable one, even if he's in a good mood, which today he isn't. Are your affairs in order, Mr. Teasbury? Last will and testament laid out. Wife and kiddies provided for, should there be an unforeseen accident?
No, please. Can't we work something out?
Work something out. Certainly the professor will work something out for you. Starting with your fingers and your toes. Your eyes, your ears, your tongue, who knows what else.
Did someone mention my name?
Oh, Professor, thank goodness you came. Mr. Teasbury here seems to be unable to repay his loan, or maybe just unwilling. We were just explaining to him how merciless you are with those who don't repay their loans.
I do believe you frightened Mr. Teasbury. Look at him, ladies. He's shaking like a leaf. One would think he'd been threatened with loss of life. Or limb. Or several limbs. And who would this be?
That's Mrs. Teasbury, Queen of the Banana Muffins. Please, Professor, a little more time is all we ask of you. We're doing everything we possibly can.
Everything you possibly can? I promise you, next week will be better.
Next week might be better, but it's not likely you'll live to see it.
Perhaps we can work something out. I'm a man of reason. Anyone will tell you that. If you don't have the money you owe, maybe you can offer us something else, as a sign of good faith. I've already given you everything of value I own.
Junk mainly.
What a pity. You think my wife's necklace is junk?
Not just junk, but garbage. But there was gold in the necklace. Fool's gold. And we were fools to take it. Our silver platter was a wedding gift, and it cost a lot of money. I've got more silver in my teeth than there was in that platter.
That does paint a rather dim picture of things, I'm afraid. Please, just a little more time.
We already gave you more time, and what good did it do?
Try to look at the situation from my perspective, Mr. Teasbury. If word were to get out that I had given you special treatment, everyone else would expect the same. Then where would I be? in the poorhouse. In order to settle this account, I'll have to take this matter into my own
Stop
hands.
it, you're hurting him. You can't do this. Stop it, you monster.
Oh, but I can, Mrs. Teasbury. I can and I will. Did you call me a monster?
Well, you were hurting him.
Well, I suppose I am a bit of a monster. All men are. What will we do about this business, Mr. Teasbury? As we all know, this can't go on indefinitely. I too have bills to pay.
Wait. There is something we could give you.
Something of value?
Quite valuable, yes.
What is it?
A potion. A potion?
It's got powers. What kind of powers?
Certain restorative powers. Restorative powers, she says.
It's a cure for something I'm afraid we men are particularly prone to. Oh? Yes, the devastating and embarrassing loss of hair. Well, I myself have no use for such a potion. Oh, I'm sure. But the day might come years from now when you might find it useful. If not for yourself, then maybe it will bring a handsome price from someone who might benefit from this rare elixir. Yeah, I'm sure there's some poor soul out there who's willing to pay for
a full head of hair that falls off his head every time he bends down to tie his shoes.
Don't you two have some work to do? Perhaps you could inventory the last shipment of goods that just came in last week.
Touchy, isn't he?
You're certain of this potion of yours?
Absolutely certain.
So if I apply it generously as the bottle says I should, it'd better do what you claim it does? I don't want any unsatisfied customers.
Satisfaction's guaranteed.
You're certain this is safe to use?
It's perfectly safe, and it's effective. 2 months ago, my wife was bald as a billiard ball, and now look at her.
What?
Okay, if this doesn't cure my baldness, I don't know what will.
We'll be leaving now.
Huh? Oh, of course. Have a good day.
What did you tell him I was bald as a billiard ball for? Professor, a letter came for you. Professor.
Now look what you did. You made me spill some.
This letter is for you.
This is a problem.
What is it, Professor?
It's a letter from my sister. She's coming here to the pawn shop next week, and she's bringing her wretched daughters. She wouldn't approve of my business dealings and associates.
You mean us?
You and the penny dreadfuls.
Does she know about this kind of business?
No, and she's not going to know. This means we'll have to change our appearance, even replacing the name Knight Soil and Sprockets Pawn Shop to Knight Soil and Sprockets Antiques and Curiosities, a respectable establishment.
Respectable? What does that mean?
What it means is that for the next week, we'll have to be respectable. However unpleasant that may prove to be.
And so for a week the professor applied the potion to his head, just as the Teasbury said, hoping to regain the hair over the years he lost. Little did he suspect, at what cost.
Where is the professor? I don't know. He doesn't tell us his whereabouts every minute of the day. When do you expect him to return? How should we know? We are not his mother. In the meantime, can we interest you in this necklace? Is it real silver? Of course it's real silver. Then I'll take it. Fine, that will be— I didn't say I would buy it, I said I'd take it. The professor wanted me to have it. Okay then, it works out. I'll be on my way now. And make sure to tell your little penny dreadfuls to keep an eye out for matched earrings. Out of my way, you clumsy imbecile. What does the professor see in that woman? Men have no brains when it comes to women like that. Men have no brains when it comes to women, period. Taking interest to jewelry, sir? We just picked up this lovely string of pearls, last worn by the late Duchess of Caspadonia.
And how do you know I am not the late Duchess of Caspadonia?
Professor? Professor, is that you?
No, it's the Duke of Caspadonia looking for my dead wife. Of course it's me, you old harpy.
Miss Foxglove just came to see you.
I know, she practically trampled me to death when I was coming in.
Professor, why are you wrapped up like a mummy in this weather?
Is anyone else here?
Just us. Why?
And the penny dreadfuls?
Are out working.
No other customers?
No. Professor, are you ill?
Am I ill, you ask? No, worse still, I've been cursed.
What kind of curse?
Take a look, ladies. I'd call this a curse, wouldn't you?
I'd say that's worse
You
than a
look like
curse.
something
that's escaped from a zoo, like a big hairy
I
ape.
knew I'd get great treatment from you too.
What in the world happened, Professor?
What in the world happened, Professor? What do you think happened?
The potion?
Yes, the potion.
Did you follow the directions on the bottle?
Yes, I followed the directions on the bottle. Apply generously, it said. Perfectly safe, he said. Satisfaction's guaranteed, she said.
Well, did you apply it generously? To your head?
Of course I did, you nincompoop. Did you think I poured it in my bath? Did you really think I wanted hair on my hands, and my feet, and my back? And it's everywhere, I tell you, everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yes, everywhere.
Well, we can just get the scissors and cut it off.
Doesn't work, I've already tried. Just grows back twice as thick as before, and an hour later I look like a gorilla all over again.
Maybe we can just burn it off.
Burn it off? Are you out of your mind? You'll turn me into a human torch.
Oh. Right. Well, there must be something we can do.
Well, there's something we can do, all right. It was the Teasberry who offered me that potion preying on my masculine vanity. We're going to find him, force him to tell us how to undo the curse, then I'm going to wring his bloody neck between my two hands.
What are you doing sneaking in here like that? Scare a body half to death you will.
Well, it was you that told us to use the back door. Make up your mind already. Front door, back door, which is it? Or through the cracks in the floor. We can slide down the chimney next time like Santa Claus.
If you're not careful, there won't be a next time.
Whoa! I didn't know you had a customer.
That's not a customer, that's the professor.
The professor? Professor, is that you?
Yes, it's me.
A bit warm for all them clothes, ain't it, Professor?
The professor has a chill.
Yes, I'm ill.
It's not catchy, is it?
I sure hope not.
No, it's not catchy. I've just developed a condition, but it's none of our concern.
Professor? What's happened to your hand?
My hand? Nothing's wrong with my hand.
It's all hairy.
Harry, is it? Harry? You wanna see Harry? Okay, then I'll show you Harry.
As you can see, the professor's not quite himself.
He's got hair. Everywhere.
You might even say he's having a bad hair day.
If only those Teasberries didn't trick me with that potion. And repaid that loan in cash.
What potion?
The Teasberries tried to repay their loan with a potion, and the professor took the bait, swallowed it hook, line, and sinker.
What was the potion supposed to do?
Grow hair.
Then I'd say it worked first rate.
On his head, you nitwit, not everywhere.
Oh. Then it didn't work so great.
This is a nightmare. What the? That was where I spilled the potion once before, but now the counter seems to have grown hair too.
Calm down, Professor. Like you said, the thing to do is get Teasberry.
That's your mission, boys. Find Teasberry and bring him to me.
Teasberry? The coffin maker?
He'd better have made a coffin for himself because he'll be needing it. Not only that, bring his wife here too because she was the one that gave me the potion.
We'll do the job, Professor. We'll find him what made you furry.
Now get going. And not a word of this to anyone, or I'll cut out your tongues, every last one of you.
Mom's the word. You can count on us, Professor.
Now go.
Right, we'll search high and low.
Go! Hurry up!
Professor, that letter from your sister, when did she say she would arrive?
I completely forgot about her. She could be here now for all I know. I can't let her see me like this. If she comes, you'll have to tell her I've been called away suddenly on urgent business.
Hair, it's practically everywhere. The professor has stumbled into a nightmare of his own making. A nightmare from which you'll see, there is no waking.
Flowers for sale. Beautiful fresh picked.
Balloons.
Fresh picked blooms for sale. Blooms to brighten any room or tomb.
They're wilted, I wouldn't want them on my grave, they'd bring nothing but gloom. Jewels here, I've got genuine balloons. Bargains. I've got real bargains here, buy here and save. Genuine gold, silver, diamonds.
They paste. Fortunes told, know what's in the stars for you, will you have one child, or two?
2 balloons for the price of 1. Buy one for your daughter or son.
Will you die rich, or poor?
She's a fake. Lovely flowers for the one you adore.
You give me a royal bellyache. Rings. I've got a special on rings today.
Flowers I say. Instead of a ring that will turn your finger green, brighten any day with a lovely
balloon.
Bouquet. A lovely bouquet.
I got fresh baked pies for sale.
Pies that will add inches to your thighs. But flowers are music to the eyes.
Not all flowers are what they seem, some are demons in disguise.
Pies, delicious homemade pies.
I've told fortunes for the queen with my crystal ball.
She lies.
Apple, blueberry, and pumpkin pies.
Flowers speak to the heart with special powers.
Jewels speak louder than dead flowers.
Pies.
Peonies.
Precious jewels.
Palm readings.
Pretty balloons.
Delicious pies.
Daffodils.
Diamonds.
Destinies.
They're full of hot air. The balloons I mean. On our way to the coffin maker, we might as well teach Caliban here a few tricks of the trade. And for that purpose, this place looks tailor-made. Watch us closely, Calvin, and soon you'll see how the penny dreadfuls work. Remember, Caliban, if you're gonna eat, you better learn to earn your keep. That means picking an occasional pocket, taking a genuine silver locket, stealing a tie, or swiping a pie. Watch for mold, that one's old. Gold is always nice. Behold, at night soil and sprockets, they'll sell for twice the price. Be sure to only lift what's handy, a diamond necklace is oh so dandy. But if you return empty-handed, let us be perfectly candid, you'll be back out on the street, with nowhere to sleep and nothing to eat. So pay close attention, for soon it will be your turn, sooner than you think.
Hey, thief! Stop him.
Get your hands off me, you loony old...
What a perfectly dreadful experience.
This whole trip has been dreadful.
Just think, getting off the train to visit my brother only to have my necklace snatched by some hooligan in rags.
Was it your gold necklace, Mother?
The one your father got me before he
ran off?
Right, the miserable good-for-nothing.
She's doing it again.
Doing what? Oh.
Eunice, do you have to do that?
It's so embarrassing. I smell evil.
What kind of evil?
The worst kind. This place reeks of evil. Oh Eunice, why didn't you smell evil before that good-for-nothing stole my necklace? I could have used a warning then. It's everywhere, this place exudes evil.
You're always smelling evil.
I hardly think your uncle's antique shop would have anything evil in it. You must be coming down with a cold.
I'm not coming down with a cold,
I smell what I smell.
You probably smell mold.
I suppose it is a bit musty in here, but that's because it's full of all these old things. Antique shops always have a musty, moldy smell.
I smell rot and decay. Mother, how come this place is called Night Soil and Sprockets Antiques and Curiosities if it's Uncle Melvin's shop?
I really don't know. That must have been what it was called when he bought the business. I'll have to ask him.
How long has it been since you've seen Uncle Melvin?
It must have been going on 10 years. I'd imagine he's changed a great deal in 10 years.
Yes, my dears, men often change with 10 years. But sometimes change occurs overnight. Sometimes a little bottle of potion sets into motion quite an alarming, disarming fright.
We're closed for the day.
But the sign says you're open for business.
We were open, but now we're closed. What are you doing?
She's sniffing, a sort of sick hobby others.
Okay, that's enough. We're here. I told you we're closed. Come back tomorrow.